Hello, people. How are you? Welcome to our Tuesday morning Business Growth Insights, guys. I have a very, very special topic to talk on today. Now, just bear with me if you don't mind. I'm just going to check that I am live where I'm meant to be. Yes, and I am, and that's what we want to see. We want to see that I'm live where I'm meant to be. Yay. All right. So welcome, everybody. If you are jumping on live with us today, say g'day in the comments. Love to know who's watching with me. Love to feel like we're all in the room together rather than in cyberspace. Hello, Claire Williams. How are you, my darling? Thank you for joining us. So if you would like to say hello like Claire, see, now I feel like Claire and I are in the room together. This is awesome. Pop on and say g'day. If you're watching the replay, pop hashtag replay. Hello, Chris. How are you, beautiful? When you pop hashtag replay, I'll come back and I'll say g'day again. All right, guys. So as you know, like I said, I have a very, very interesting topic to talk about today. And there's a reason why I have chosen this specific topic. And we're going to talk about how to protect your online presence in your social media, on your website, on your computer and all your devices and everything, because we want to guard ourselves from social media hackers. Hello, beautiful Barb Glover. How are you? Now, first of all, I want to share with you what happened to me last week. Oh, hello, Spunky Bum. Right back at you, Miss Forster. I love it. Now, how this has come about is, I don't know, I know some of you here were witness to this last week. Some of you weren't, but I want to explain something happened to me, which essentially threatened my whole business last week. And it was ironically while I was doing a special training with a friend of mine on a Tuesday morning. So it's literally a week today now that this happened. Now, what happened, and I'm going to try and say this as carefully as I can, because the last thing I want to do is get booted off Facebook again. All right. What happened is we had this special event. We were holding it in Zoom, right? Now, normally, yes, Chris, you were there at the time, right? You were there at the time. What happened was we were live in Zoom. We had a bunch of us in there. We were having a great meeting. Susie was sharing some fantastic information about some software that she has. And if you want to know about that, go and check in the group, Confident Successful Business Owners, because she's actually put a recording in there. Anyway, she was sharing about this wonderful software. We were live on social media, as we do. We go live via Zoom onto several different places in Facebook. And all of a sudden, about 3 or 4 people came into the room. Now, we didn't really think much of it, so we let them into the room. Now, what happened next was very, very disturbing, is that our Zoom room essentially got taken over. So we had a very, a very rude word yelled out extremely loudly, okay? And then we had a picture of the male anatomy flashed up on screen for everybody to see. Now, okay, there was one thing that it was live in Zoom, but it was another that it was live in Facebook. So what happened was we ended up removing those people gradually. And what happened was, we'd remove one and this other one would take over. So it took us a little while to do that. In the meantime, we were live on Facebook. It was clearly content that went against their community standards. So the live got shut down. And, my account was, rightly so, in this instance, my account was put in Facebook jail for 24 hours. Okay. Through no fault of my own, guys. Right. However, in essence, maybe it was a little bit of my own fault because we weren't diligent enough in that instance. We let these people into the room that we didn't know, and this is what resulted. Okay, so you guys who know me, who've seen me come, you've seen me do training. Some of you have worked with me in the Heart and Soul Business Academy for a little while. You know that I love to turn an awful situation around into I love to turn an awful situation around into something positive. Let me tell you, can't believe you missed the male anatomy. Erin, it was nothing great to look at, just so you know. Glad you're back. My heart was breaking for you both at the time. Thank you, Chris. Yes, and you were a great support in the Zoom room at the time. It was lovely to have you there. Okay, so that's the story, guys, right? That's what happened. So I'm literally turning this situation around because I'm going, no, we all need to have a reminder about this. It was a huge reminder for me at the time to do a lot of the things, and actually most of the things that I'm going to share with you today. So without hesitation, and she's already forgotten to set things up, because you can tell where my mind's at this morning, can't you? There you go. Wait a minute, guys. It's coming to you. There you go. All right. Yeah. Okay, so how to protect your online presence, guys. Now, this, as I said, is absolutely imperative. If what I'm sharing with you this morning, if you are not doing the majority of this stuff or all of this stuff, can I strongly suggest that you do it? Learn from my mistakes and don't let this happen to you. So the first thing we need to do is understand the common threats that are out there. And I know that a lot of these have been around for a while, but it doesn't hurt to have the reminders every now and then, because sometimes, in business, we're so busy doing all the things and all the octopus arms that essentially we forget to be as diligent as we should be. Hence, I'm a perfect example. So first of all, look at phishing attacks, okay? So the definition of these is basically they're fake messages designed to trick you into revealing personal information. So anything that asks you for your date of birth, your address, your license number, any of that stuff, do not give it to them, okay? These phishing attacks. So how do these come about? Okay, they can be through emails. They can be through private messages, DMs, pretending to be from somebody else. Okay, they can come through posts, text messages. There are a lot of different ways that these phishing attacks can happen. Excuse me. So people are getting really, really, really clever, guys, with these, especially with the emails, I'll have to say. As I have seen, and I get these all the time with emails. You see emails, like, for instance, I'm with iiNet, right? And so I'll get iiNet emails with what looks like the branded email, but they're asking me to click a link to go and give them personal information, right? Now, I'm not going to do that because I know that particular company wouldn't do that. So this is what I mean. They're getting very, very clever in how they do things. So the impact, of course, we know it can lead to identity theft. When you're giving them those sources, you can have your whole account taken over. Anything in that aspect can happen for phishing attacks, okay? All right, so the second one are malware and viruses. Now, if you have not got an antivirus software on your computer, please get one. You have to have one, because this is, really malicious software. That sounds like a horrible word, but it is, right? That can damage your system or steal information. We know that we've all heard of instances in the past where, people's whole computers have been shut down. So, again, links, attachments in messages can lead to that inadvertently behind the scenes will install harmful software onto your computer, okay? So the impact, of course, is it can compromise your device. It can shut it down. It can put all sorts of viruses on your computer and access, again, that sensitive information, all right? So you see there's a lot of different ways. Another way is social engineering. This is manipulating people into giving away confidential information. For example, impersonation of friends and colleagues, right? So if you think about Facebook in particular, people can clone your profile. Now, this is not hacking, guys. There's a difference between cloning and hacking. Someone can easily take a photo or two or three photos from Facebook and create another Facebook profile under your name. They are cloning you. They are pretending to be you when it's clearly not. Okay. This is a way of, for instance, people who know you, they're drawing them in. People who know you and trust you already, they're going to draw them in, and then they're going to, impersonate these people and essentially take, get the personal information. And it can result in unauthorized access. It can result in unauthorized access to your accounts. Okay. So friends of friends type thing. Now, one thing that you can do here is when you get a Facebook friends request from, say, for instance, let's use Claire as an example. So let's say we all know, most of us here, we love Claire. She's got a very, a very good Facebook profile set up. Now, if she was to send me a friends request from another profile, I would know immediately that it's not her, because I know she's not going to create another profile and send me a friends request. So what we do in that case is we go to the original person and we say, hey, guess what? You've got a cloner. They report the cloner, you report the cloner, and essentially Facebook gets their, Facebook should shut that profile down. Okay, you report them. So that's how you do it. I've had it happen to me several times on both Facebook and Instagram. Got to check both because they are linked. Okay, so those are the things. You really don't want people to clone you. It can damage your reputation if you're not diligent about shutting those other profiles down. Yes, then you can go and let your followers know what's happened, which is essentially what I had to do last week, especially if they're sending unwarranted direct messages to other people from that fake account. All right, so you can see there's a lot of different ways. Let's talk about some best practices, guys. I would love you guys, while you're watching today, in the comments to let me know what your thoughts are on all this. Let me know if this has happened to you. And guys, and I'm just going to say, don't be embarrassed. I mean, it's happened to all of us. I think in one way or another, this has probably, or one of these things have happened to the majority of us. Am I right? Let me know. But yeah, let's get some chat happening, guys. All right, so let's talk about best practices for security, and let me know if you are doing these. So first of all, regular software updates. It's really, really important because you have to make sure that you have the latest security. With all the different softwares around in business, we're using many, many different softwares. So it is highly important that we keep it up to date, because the owners of the software, they know that these hackers and these people are trying to get into their software. So they're constantly updating their security as well. So make sure at least once a week that you're updating your software. You can even set your devices to update automatically, right? I have my phone, my tablet, and my computer all are set to update the software once a week, at least. And I actually go in and check it more often than that as well. I probably now, because I'm that little bit more diligent after last week, I would do it 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, just to double check it. It's not likely that you're going to have more than one update, but it doesn't hurt to check. Okay, and then when you do that, obviously the benefit is that you reduce vulnerabilities that hackers can exploit. Okay, so the other thing that you do is with your antivirus software, right? Make sure that you run a scan again at least once a week. You can also set your antivirus software up for regular scans as well, so you don't have to remember it. But again, for me, especially after last week, I'll do it at least twice a week. Okay. Okay, so review privacy settings. This is so important for your social media, guys. Okay, especially your social media. So you want to make sure that you can limit the information, the personal information that is visible to the public. Okay, now you can pick and choose what you want to show to the public. For instance, you could show your birthday, but you don't, your birthday as in the day, but you don't have to show the year. All right. So, and you want to regularly check and update your settings on social media platforms. Like I said, social media platforms in particular. You don't want strangers. This is where the hacking can come into it. You do not want to give them so much information that it's easy for them to access your personal information and to access your social media accounts. Okay. So, here's a reminder. If you have not checked your privacy settings on any of your social medias in a while, this is your reminder to please, please, please do it today. You might think that you've set your privacy settings a while ago and that they're fine. Now, I've had the instance when, yes, I've set my privacy settings, but then the software has updated, or for instance, the social media platform has come out with an update, which we know they do quite often, and inadvertently, some of the privacy settings in my account have been reverted back to factory settings. That's what I'm trying to think of. So they've been reverted back to factory settings. So you just want to make sure that you continuously go check your privacy settings. I did this the other day, and there are a few things that I had to change. What do we got happening? It happened to me. You lost a lot of money. Yeah, Claire, and it's so sad, and that is unfortunately the reality of it, and this is what I mean, where it happens to the best of us. We don't deliberately set out to go and have these things happen, but it does happen. What have we got? But people post stupid spammy posts, put in the day you were born and the year, yada, yada, and people do it. Dumbfounds me. Yeah, those posts, yes, they are very, very, they look like fun, but yes, they can absolutely be ways that people can sneakily get into your account. Well said, Barb. Okay, so make sure that you monitor your activity as well. So you want to make sure that you detect any unusual or authorized activity on any of your accounts. So enable notifications for logins, okay, and monitor it regularly, especially if you are someone who has a virtual assistant like I do, like a few of you watching do. We allow our VAs to have access to our account, right? And so we can set up what we call, and we'll go into this a little bit further, into a two-factor authentication, okay? So you want to make sure that you enable these notifications so that you know when someone's trying to get into your account. And that way, when you get this notification, you can immediately jump on it and say, no, there's a security breach. I'm the only person using my account, right? Or me and my VA are the only two people using my account. So monitor the activity. Make sure that you enable those notifications to be able to see when someone might be trying to log into your account, or in another way trying to get access to dig right in there, right? Just makes me mad. Anyway, all right, let's talk about some practical tips, guys. These are really practical tips. Now, if you haven't already, get a pen and paper and write these down, because this is what I really want you to do immediately after this, okay? Is first things first, create really strong passwords, guys. Use a combination of letters, numbers, and symbols, right? When you create passwords for things, they'll normally tell you, like, you have to have eight passwords, eight 8 digits, or what? I can't even word. Anyway, so you got to have 8 or 16, like a mix. What am I trying to say? I can't even get it out. All right, so anyway, you're going to have a mixture of letters, numbers, and symbols. Anyway, I won't even try going on. But, avoid using really easily guessable information like birthdays, like a name, anything like that. You really don't want to use Numbers and symbols. Characters. Thank you, Barb. That's what I was thinking of. A mixture of characters. That's right. I knew some of you would help me. So, yeah, just avoid using really easily guessable strong passwords, and also avoid using the same password for everything, because if you think about it, if they get hold of that password and you've got the same password for everything, they can you're making it so easy for them. Okay, so you want to make it as hard as possible for these people to crack your passwords. So a really good idea, yes, is to use upper and lower case. Absolutely, Claire, is to use a combination of characters. Thank you, Barb, of letters, numbers, and symbols. But a really good idea is to use a program such as 1Password or LastPass, where you can actually, in those programs, you can create highly secure and strong passwords with a big mixture of those characters, right? And they don't need to make any sense for you, because you save those passwords for those specific apps and stuff and sites in that site, in that program, and you only need to remember one password. All right, is you only need to remember the main password. So you sign into that once a day. Okay, so if you are using the same password for everything, please go and change it. If you think that it's going to be too hard to keep up with it, go to 1Password or LastPass and use those programs. Trust me, they make life so much easier. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Think about your passwords after this. Second, now we talked about this briefly before, two-factor or two-step authentication. So you can use this is basically, so yes, you log into an app or a program, but they want you to prove that it's actually you. Okay, so you will then need to get a second code sent to your mobile via SMS, or you can use a Google Authenticator, the Google Authenticator app, which is brilliant. These these authentication codes actually update. I think it's every minute, or it might be every 40 seconds, but it doesn't take long. So, that is even more secure than getting an SMS code. Okay, so it only comes to your phone. Some of them you can do email. I don't like email. It takes too long. I would rather use SMS, or the Google Authenticator is the best one for me. Follow the platform's instructions, right? So, and, you want to add that extra layer of security. So what I did when this incident happened the other day in Zoom, and again, you were there, Chris, you were probably watching me in the background, and Barb was too. I was madly going and changing my passwords in the background. I was double checking my two-factor authentication. If I didn't have it, I was adding it onto that. And I actually found that I didn't have it in my Zoom. Okay. So guess what? It's on now. Now, let me tell you this. A lot of people will look at the two-factor authentication and they'll go, it's too hard. It takes too long. It's too annoying. And then, the passwords or the second codes only last for 5 minutes. Let me ask you this. If it was between your whole business, getting hacked, or your whole business, shutting down, wouldn't it be worth taking that extra 30 seconds to a minute to put a code in? My answer to that is yes. It is more than worth it. Yes, it does take a little bit more time, but in the long run, it's going to save you a lot of headaches. It's easy via SMS, and it is easy via SMS. Yes, a lot of them I get via SMS, Barb, you're right. But personally, I would prefer the Google Authenticator because it updates, because the code updates. It's just another layer of security. Okay, so avoid suspicious links and downloads. Do not ever click on any links or download files from anything that well, you don't know if it's untrusted. You might not know it, right? But if it looks sus, probably the rule of thumb is it is sus, right? So yeah, just be careful. And verify the source before clicking and download. So make sure you know that you can trust it, right? And of course, yes, this will prevent all of those incidents there. So what you need to do is never click on a link that you're unsure about in an email, in an SMS, in a direct message, or in a post. Never, ever, ever. Or even on a website, okay? There are heaps of sites out there. They're free link checking sites. You can actually Google free link checker and it will come up with a bunch of sites. Just go down or past all the sponsored ones and you can find free ones. And the way you can check a link without clicking on it is right click on it first, copy the link, and then paste it into one of these link checking sites. I've done that plenty of times and it saved me a lot. And I even did it the other day. Claire, Claire and I, we absolutely love Australian Idol. And of course, Kyle Sandilands, that was a name that was flying around because Aussie Idol had just finished. And then I saw up the top of my Facebook, an ad that was about Kyle Sandilands. And I don't even remember what it was said, something about making money or whatever it was. And I went to click on it. I did. But my instinct went, I don't think it's a dangerous link, but I'm just going to check it anyway. And I did check it, and it turned out it wasn't a malicious link; it was spam. Okay, but I'm so glad that I checked it. It took me 30 seconds to check it. Anyway, I didn't go any further. But this is what I mean. If your instinct is telling you something's dodgy here, then check it. Please, please, please check it. So, guys, okay, I really, really hope that this information has helped you. If you haven't changed your passwords, if they're time for an update, change them. If you're not using the link checker, use the link checker. If you haven't got the two-step authentication on, please put it on, especially all the regular things you use. And let me tell you, you got a friend's request from Jimmy Barnes. Couldn't wait to respond to that one. Oh, look, I've had them from Hugh Jackman. I got one from King Charles the other day. I thought that was lovely. Wasn't it lovely of King Charles to send me a friend's request? Yeah, that didn't go through. I kind of knew that one. But guys, yeah, so we have, we've put a lot of in our business since last Tuesday. Yes, we've done everything here, but we've actually put a lot more steps into our security procedures now to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So, like I said, make sure that you're doing all these things. I really hope this has helped you today. If you have fallen prey to any of these, like some of you have, don't be embarrassed because I have too. It's happened to all of us. And on the upside, guys, there is an upside to all of this, right? If you would want to know not only how to protect yourself on a deeper level from all these things, but how to grow and scale your business, the Heart and Soul Business Academy can help you with that, guys. We're here. We talk about these things openly, okay? You've been changing yours while watching, Yana. That's awesome. That's cool. So come and join, come and talk about, the Heart and Soul Business Academy. If you're interested, pop Academy in the comments. We've got heaps of content, up-to-date strategies, really easy access, especially for those of you who work. And everyone who joins the Academy, I am so proud to say that we are now donating 5% of all money that comes in through the Heart and Soul Business Academy to Rise Up Australia, which is a wonderful charity that supports people who are affected by domestic violence and family violence. And those of you who don't know, even though we're at the end of May, it is Mental Awareness Month. And this is why this all helps us out as well. I am personally someone who has lived through domestic violence, survived through it, and all the resulting mental illness issues. And so this is why I'm so proud that now we're donating this to Rise Up Australia. So guys, if you would like to find out more information about the Heart and Soul Business Academy, how it can help you, pop the word Academy in the comments. It's a really holistic business coaching system where we get you to have amazing success in your business. Okay. Oh, you love that. Oh, thank you, Barb. That's awesome. Yep, beautiful. Joy, the best decision for your business. Thank you, beautiful Claire. That's wonderful. All right, guys. So thank you for watching today. Go and do all that stuff. And then let's have a talk about you coming into the Heart and Soul Business Academy. We'd love to have you there. All right, guys. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you soon. Bye.